a computer uses, for the intents of this session, let's say it uses some programming languages to execute commands, right? So you would write a human readable code that the computer will then compile, interpret and compile, and then into machine readable language, and then the machine readable code will then be executed by the code, which essentially will be driven boiled down to ones and zeros. But wena o interact leona based on a particular program. It can be Python, it can be Bash, it can be Java, or all this other kind of stuff. Sharp girl. So the next thing that I want you to think about, I want you to think of it as a programming language where a run, or a program, when a code is being run, it is being executed in an environment. So imaginary like a stadium, a program or a piece of code is stadium, and then the stadium, they can only be the players. We can only refer to the players. Pitching, stadium, and so the spectators did. In this case, there are variables, only the functions and the properties, and there are things that are available to you in a particular programming language or in a particular environment. So for Python, once you interpreter, so what you have access to a global environment, right? So for example, print just like this, it is a function that is available to us all over any Python script. Stadium sa Python, in this case stadium sa interpreter think of it as just a particular script or a particular environment, and then I got to print it on over one. So in global environments, there are defaults, only the default. The programming language print, help, or the function you do wanna solve, and then the Q. What's happening? So whenever we look at a particular environment, those stuff, if in Python, when you see something having the brackets, so it's a function. The function is print. So whatever you use, create a function or refer to a function, you know that thing, it will be some name, space, what. Again, sharp. So really create a script that will be interpreted and compiled into machine readable language. So in programming, give the function maths, in algebra, what should you do the function, f at x is equals to what? So we had the variables. So I need to quickly note the time so that I don't run off. This is supposed to be 30 minutes. So again, we have variables, or declare a variable. Okay, I'll go for example, like a patient. Okay, it's fine. So we can go declare a variable. Other variable in this case, location. Relocation ye kikigage Gauteng, right? The Gauteng is the location, and then where. Oh, right. No, let's do this. We can also have something like a province at the same time. Gauteng, and then which city? City. Go Bramfontein, 120, 2000, another 6. So if I type location, yung potja hore location ka Gauteng. If I type province, yung potja hore ke province ke Gauteng. So re nka rana ka reng address. Kare address is equals to province plus seat. Okay, motho o dula Gauteng Bramfontein. I get type I get address. I'm for Gauteng Bramfontein. Ke dealing ke dirile di plus ja province le city. So meaning wherever in this from now on, because remember program it is being read line by line, yet it evaluate line by line. So then ka ba ke rile location ke ithomile ke rile Gauteng in this first line, and then kata ka dira gape ka location maybe ka re Limpopo. Let's do this. Ke location now ke change ke re ke Limpopo. Okay, then ka re location, it will say location is Limpopo, but if I say address is still Gauteng Bramfontein. It hasn't changed. It's still using what was declared before the Gauteng province, the address variable was declared. Sharp, alright? So I did something like add plus. You can only plus diloja the same type. Whenever you see a variable with braces, with quotation marks, you know it is a string, right? So now what if kinyaka add a house number now? Get a house number. Udula house number 1257, right? So whenever I type house number, it will say it's 1257. So house number is different from the Limpopo, the location one. You can see this one has quotation marks and this one doesn't. This is because this one we call it an integer. It is a number, right? So if I say again, address. If I say address, no ge add house number. Okay, address now is equals to province plus city plus house number. You can only concatenate string with string. Okay, string integer because get travel add string integer. But what I could do also, I could always say house number plus 100 and place an agent per 1357 because it is integer. I could also even say plus 100.5 1357.5. So right now do comma ka Python by default iba float. Remember, go to me again ka string. You have a string here, you have an integer here, and now you have a float number. Float, but it is the same. You're only integer. The number they were under the same class, so you can always work with them together interchangeably. So if house number still is like address, what you're going to do is called casting or cast o nagana go casta cement or jealous or wallets in chekara cement or very cast. Sure. So let's go back to that into go casta house number as a string. So go ring it go string. STR stands for string. It means unyaka some particular input. Remember grillo bana di brackets just so or like a function. Really brackets di hasili some letter manzunyan ke function. Ona le modishimang as the arrays as lists mara for now skawaraga. So you have a string, it is going to convert the house number into a string number so that added to the address. Now let's do it. Error. So if we say address, Gauteng Bramfontein 1257. Makes sense, I get sharp. So now here's another thing in idiom. So suppose you go add the comma between the province and the city and the house number. You can always do it like this, or a plus, or there are space, or there are the quotation marks, or a plus, and so you can do it for all of them. Let's do it for all of them. Right. And then, so what happened, we are using a variable called province Aviation. Mo re declare anaka mukure are the variable during not use it anamoki, use it temporarily, and then don't save it, just use it anamoki as part of this. So when I say address, you get Gauteng, comma, Ramfontein, comma, 1257. I get. So now let's add say suppose no add anamukirno chincharare. This last comma you go add manzana mangarare house number. I get. So you can always say anamugaraga manzana naldonorke house. Hashtag has, and then when I say address, you see it as say Gauteng, Bramfontein, house number 1257. And so the next, so far go through. So far you have declaring a variable, which would be this part. I get allowing a key is equals to some value. You have declared a variable. So rafitara dirang now rashumisha ra declare a variable ka ushumisha the variable gd. Rashumisha province ra adan to ka ubuncha or caster an integer into a string. Right? So sometimes you'll get information in a string and then you have to convert it into a number 4. So let's say really house number or street number street number. Situate sele barfile swana in a string or street number 7 street. So if I say street number 7, and I do quotation marks. If I say street number 7 plus 1 is 8, no, you can only concatenate string to string, not string to integer, right? So what could you, based on the example above, what do you expect or a number street number? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, so ro caster into an integer. So you just say int. Remember, go jar some functions Python, again. So I will say integer, open bracket, street number, and then so now I send the quotation marks for only this time. Whenever no street number referred to still be in string form because as key change. And again I go change. I just want to know Innova number. So ngare street number anagamkhonela kar plus 1 maybe 8 street number 8 1. So if ever I wanted to change the street number maybe really but counter the information capture the information. The house numbers, they were off by 2 digits, meaning by two numbers. Meaning whatever was about house number 1257, house number 1259. They want you to decrease all the house numbers in that database ka -2. So Oja or a street number is equals to the old street number, which is in string, but renyaga in integer. Integer. But for our reading minus 2. Minus 2. So we are taking this street number which is in string. rare it turn into an integer o fetše o minus 2, but mo le o feditše o bo botše street number e be the new value. So e ba so re street number, now street number ke 5. That's what. So you have casted something into string up above here, or I cast into an integer here. Baba resign about change a variable from one type to another. So no string number. Street number is a number, is an integer, as opposed to street number key, which was a string. So here's a challenge for you now. Convert this street number into a string. So I'm just gonna go ahead and write it for you. I need you to do something to turn this street number back into a string. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you said you're going to encapsulate everything in a str string, then you are right. Now if I say street number, it is a string. Sharp. We have 3 more minutes to go. So now for this coming minute, let's do something called a list. A list or an array, it's when you have a collection of things. Okay. So now we have a register, and then in this register we want everybody to give us their names, their addresses. It's a register of addresses. So to declare a list, you just say list name register is equals to square bracket. You can always declare it like this, empty. The same way little variable, you can always declare them in empty. For example, in name or number. I could always learn as a zero or one, like number an integer is the different one, because you'll always need something where you declare. But for string learning already empty. So back to register. If I say register, it will give me an empty list. Okay. So to declare a register, a delay address, address. So no register, register input or let that address. Now a level reader again, it's one string. Remember here when we created this, the address, no address, it means or a province. And I am more than province here, value province, value city and stuff. So we have register, the list. So I want to find out originally register. I can always say len, the function here Python learn player one. Len register, close bracket. Len here image length. You're just looking for a length, for the length of the register. So it will say it is 1. We have one item, one thing in the register. Sharp on it. So suppose now we can address 2. Address 2, yeah, maybe ke Limpopo, Zanin, and then I wanted the house number. We're getting this 10 number plus number, stand number, stand 21002. Sharp. So I wanna in this case now declare everything as one thing from the get-go. So now it means we're in the global environment, we have address and address 2. These are our variables. So if I say address 2, it's the whole thing. How does it differ from address 1, or how we declared address 1? Address 1 we declare like the variables. Really address 1 the variable plus comma. Yeah, about one word. In this one I just went ahead and created one word from the get-go. So remember register arena still has one item. So now I want to have our register, every register with the address page. Get address 1, comma, address 2, close bracket. So now we got a length, ya register, len register, and put your register in a local page. So another important thing, I could have another page. In programming, especially in Python, it doesn't start counting from 1. It counts from 0, meaning whatever is here, the position 0 and then 0, 1, 2. So when you register, now level the difference from this and this. Okay. This one is equals to saying I'm declaring a value, I'm assigning a value to a variable. Okay. And this one really, so I'm saying go to position. Mpotsa gore ka raga list ya register at this position, in this case at position 0. Ya ka raga register o nyaka position 0 and give me that item there. It gives me out in Bramfontein. If I say go to position 1, it gives me number 2. Here's another thing nice. If I wanted to go for the last thing in the list, I get the list, maybe list like 1,000, or I get the fella like I can always say -1. -1 can try my fella. It's nice, right? Sharp. So this is a list. So really list, so the next one ke ya go tshwana le yona go nyo go tshwana le ntlo ke dictionary. A dictionary are re Oxford in this case. Oxford dictionary. Dictionary we declare ka di calibracies. So I can always declare something M2 but I declare something. So in this case I ring Oxford dictionary are na le definition ya muloi. What is muloi? Yare muloi. Now register muloi as a string. Kare muloi is equals to tonally is equals to yeki. But in a ring really key. Vocabula page wanyaka topic ya muloi. Muloi is an ejo bojoring. It is. Oh god damn it, sorry, mic fell. Where you all over your muloi? It is a witch. That's all the calibracies. So now we got Oxford. Oxford dictionary definition ya one long one ya muloi. So we got Oxford. Mputse gore muloi ke eng? Oxford now level it's an list. How I was referring to, but in this case I refer to position number to refer to a variable ke bo ja gore ke nyaka gona le ntwe ba re ke moloi ka mara Oxford mpotse gore video yona ke ya re moloi it is a witch. Don't 1 minute. So now let's say already na le Oxford dictionary sheet agenya go tagi change agenya go tagi thoma fast mara no gnyo go add definition ya score mode go your Oxford really. So I get ana ka mkhona la ke rileng be ke dia mara no ka reng score mode. I get it means ke ra yana ke ya ka ra dictionary ya Oxford onya ke mo go leng score mode le ge fa e gona if I gona it dey add it is command or ring. It is a madman. Good, yeah, so now we get Oxford. I have two definitions. Can I read definition yamuloi, the definition as command. So if I want to find out from dictionary can give churnas command again. I don't know scommata. It is a madman. Right? So remember le ana mo ya bereka ke go check re ntwa rene na le Oxford rene na le definition check I can always just say length Oxford and then I'm talking a little page. So the same way like a list ka mokgwa le be ke kgona go lata position, I can le yona nka no re ka re ka 0 ka re export at 0. Oh, this one we can't. It only works with lists. We can't find look at the key. Sharp. So 15 minutes are not sure. Play around with them with the data structure. Camera Python documentation issue do and Python numbers and stuff. I gotta go through that. In second part, I'm taking a 5 minutes break at 20 past. We'll continue with let's go back. We'll continue with the something is not. I need this to be fully up here. Sharp. Go back. So this are the arithmetics. You can do the 2 plus 1, the minus. This is where you're dealing with integers. It tells you the integer number 2 have a type int. The ones with the fractional part, Java little comma, give you float. And then this is where you want to declare, and then you can do little multiplication. You play around with them. Shiji mo gidi strings, the text. How do you do text? I get sharp. So and then we have my list. So where we are working in our next part, we're going to be focusing on tabaya I want to show you the again. In our next section, we'll the conditionals, right? So you're going to create a script, everything that we've been doing. Now we are going to create it in a script. Now we were doing it interactively, so from an interpreter. So imagine a app or something, or a lot of lines. You can't be doing it from a shell like that. You need it to be well organized into the groups. So a code ya go dilaga login, one other code ya go dilaga registration, code ya go dilaga displaying information on the screen, stuff like that. So let's take that break now, and then when we come back, we'll continue.